To my family, my wife Vanessa, our daughters Natalia and Gianna, thank you guys for all your sacrifice. For all the hours I spent in the gym working and training, and Vanessa, you holding down the family the way that you have. I can't, there's no way that I can thank you enough for that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And what can I say? Mamba out.
Tragic news last Sunday on January 26th that Kobe Bryant, along with his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, John, Kerry, and Alyssa Altobelli, Christina Mauser, Sarah, and Peyton Chester, as well as Ara Zobayan, the pilot, unfortunately died on a helicopter crash in California. Guys, I don't know about you guys, but when I found out about this news, definitely something that took me back,
Yeah.
And before we get into anything, obviously a sad moment in sports history, a sad moment in American history, a sad moment for the world. There's so many Kobe fans, You two are probably one of the biggest Kobe acknowledgers I've ever met. So
he was. This was like one of the most shocking deaths I think I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
As far as the shock factor and the hurt it put on everybody, I thought it was like a hoax at first.
Yeah. So
When I saw the TMZ, I'm like, this can't be true. And then half hour later, more people reporting it, and then you got news that his daughter was on the flight too. And, shout out to a bunch of other, Italians that were on it too. But,
yeah,
just humans,
life's precious.
Yeah, tragic, truly tragic.
takes you back. Kobe was definitely an honorary Italian, and we'll get more into that
Definitely.
and what he did for the Italian community. Nothing but love for it, man.
Definitely. Nothing but love.
Like Sabino said, 3 fellow Italians on there as well. Traveling to just a basketball game, man. Life comes at you, and it's so short. And Kobe was one of the biggest preachers of that.
It's crazy because I feel like as a basketball player, especially in our time, me and Rocco's and Sabino's, definitely yours as well. I feel like he was the Michael Jordan of our time.
Yep.
And, there's a huge debate always of LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, and I think after this, as crazy as it sounds, I hate LeBron, but there's no reason to hate at this point. After this, you got to look at life differently. I saw a post that said, stop the hate and just appreciate. Mm-hmm. And,
it's facts.
Just to see him as a player, but as a person, he was amazing. Funny story how I got connected to Kobe. So it's going to sound corny, but shout out to my boy Robert Monapert. He moved to L.A. when I was in second grade. We were best friends. So I wanted to learn more about Los Angeles. I had no clue. I was a kid. So I found out about the Los Angeles Lakers. Actually, I first loved Shaq. And then, I became an avid fan of Kobe. And it's crazy how just, I watched his whole career, and it's just insane how he's gone now, Just it still doesn't feel real.
So Kobe was definitely one of the guys. We're all within the same age range here. And I feel like I grew up watching Kobe my whole life. And this celebrity death was probably, it's obviously rest in peace to all the celebrities who passed away. But this one I feel like was the one in my life where I definitely felt it.
Yeah.
Obviously the tragedy aspect definitely had a part in that. But it took me a while to just realize that, this was real.
What Kobe means to L.A. is like what Derek Jeter means to New York.
Yeah.
20 years, one team, 5 rings. Olympic gold medals, all the philanthropy work you could talk, he's gave back so much to the community there, and he wasn't perfect, he had things that went on in his life, but overall he was a great father, And me being a father, I just can't imagine how he felt in those last moments when,
Horrible.
he's like with his daughter and he knows that they're gonna die. So, I really feel for him for that because, that literally, like, just thinking about that made me so sad. So,
Chills. They said, not to go into too much detail, but they said that she was in his arms.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's crazy.
And like I felt like foreshadowing of this because pre to this like happening, Kobe was actually in Brooklyn at a Nets game with his daughter, like courtside.
Oh, right,
And I saw all these videos of it, and it was the same daughter.
Right.
So I'm like, oh wow, his daughter could ball. Like I saw videos and shit.
Yeah.
Like she has his exact fadeaway. And when I saw that video, I was like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, she was
like she
good.
literally has Kobe's fadeaway.
Product of Kobe. And
So sad.
yeah,
It's crazy too that when I first heard the news, I was actually with my fiance, and I'm looking through my phone, I'm seeing everyone say about Kobe. And I remember the night before, LeBron surpassed him in points.
right.
So I
That's
was
the
like,
first. That's the first thing I said.
Yeah, so I said, wow, they're still talking about it. And then I think it was one of my group chats that I'm in, it said, rest in peace, Kobe. I was like, rest in peace, Kobe. And, the way that news hit, and the same way you're saying, like, eventually on that helicopter, you got to know what's going down. And everyone, rest in peace to everyone on that helicopter. But God knows, and I would never want to feel or even think about what that last seconds of your life saying, oh my God, this is it. Like that's
Tough moment.
Speechless.
Really is. Let's actually get into a little bit of Kobe's background and, how he in the Italian community, his effect. So following his great father, Joe Bryant, with his mother and two sisters, Kobe lived in 4 Italian cities between the age of 6 and 13. He lived in Rieti, Reggio Calabria, Pistoia, and Reggio Emilia. He went to Italian schools and spoke the language very well, as we've seen in many videos as of late, especially.
Speaks better Italian than me, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, and it's in Italy where he learned and loved, or began to love and find his passion in basketball. So I think Italy definitely changed his life.
His dad played professionally, right?
Yeah, he was always with his dad along the way. And during this video, I'm just going to show you guys some pictures and videos I have
There's
of Kobe.
that one picture of like Kobe guarding a guy that's like 35 years old with like chest hair and arm hair, like shoulder hair.
Yeah.
And he has to be like 12 years old there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what like helped set him up for his career,
Yeah.
Seeing his dad playing professionally.
When we were growing up, I loved playing with the older cousins because, that's how you only got better. You got to play against the big guys. So I definitely can see why Kobe had that passion, that heart, coming from a basketball family and playing against people that were double your size and double your age. It just makes for a good, strong work ethic, which he obviously had.
Yeah.
He probably had the strongest work ethic we've ever seen, especially when it came to basketball. And just to touch up more on what Kobe thinks about Reggio Emilia, especially because he stayed there the longest and just grew a passion for it. He said in an interview, "Why am I so attached to Reggio? Because I have so many special moments here." He said during a visit. As we were getting here for the first time, he said, "Would you have ever thought that one of the NBA's best players would have grown up here? There's nothing further from Los Angeles, literally. Reggio Emilia, northern part of Italy, almost near Milan, like 140 kilometers out. Mm-hmm. That's like 70 miles. And he's just trying to say that every dream is achievable, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
I feel like he exemplified that. For sure.
Going back to what you were saying about Brian and the love he has for his family, so I hope you can put the picture up in the slideshow, but there's a photo of him crying in the Philadelphia bathroom, the locker room, when he won his first trophy.
Yeah. Is there a backstory to that?
So the backstory is that he married Vanessa, and the parents didn't approve because she was Latina. And when it was the championship, Philly, his hometown, his parents didn't come to the game. So he won a championship, and many people thought that he was crying tears of joy. but he was so heartbroken that his parents did not come to one game of that championship. And that just shows you that even though he had everything right there, a 21-year-old kid just won an NBA title, he was heartbroken because his family wasn't there. And I think if that doesn't say something about him as a family guy, then I don't know what will.
Yeah, he was really a great father, though.
Yeah, he really was.
I've been seeing a lot of footage of him, like, joking with his daughters, playing basketball, and, now that everybody's hashtagging, girl dad.
Yeah.
So, like, girls really are, little baby girls are mad fun. Like, and personally, like, my daughter's so much more animated than my son. So, for everybody listening, if you have a daughter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But, yeah, he was a great father, so role model in that sense,
Yeah.
Yeah, he really only good things to say about Kobe. And I want to add on a little bit and talk about his passion for Serie A and specifically AC Milan, which I know Tony here is a fan of as well. So he actually said in a quote, and he was like, "If you cut off my left arm, it'll bleed black and red, and if you cut off my right arm, it'll bleed yellow and purple." For Lakers, and obviously the other one for Milan. He grew up, like I said, in Reggio Emilia, not too far from Milan. He just grew a great passion for the team. He said his idols were Marco Van Basten, Ricard, Gullit, Maldini, and Baresi. All legends of that time, And
they won a lot of trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his passion doesn't just stop for Italy. He fell in love with soccer, and then with that's when a little controversy with the whole racism issue in the sport came along, and he still tried pushing it to this day, which I respect him very much. We still see it.
Yeah.
We still see it. We saw it with Balo.
Yeah.
We saw it with Moise.
With Lukaku.
Lukaku. It's just there's no place for that in the sport, man.
It's outrageous.
And it gives a bad name to Italy.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just animosity. It's sad seeing.
It's all over the world, though, even in England, but definitely an issue.
So, yeah, he developed a love for soccer there, witnessed racism firsthand before moving back to the U.S., where he spent his entire 20-year career with the Lakers, as we know. But one message he always wanted to tell you guys, or tell the world, was that it's always education, understanding that racism is a thing that's been part of our culture for a while, meaning his culture,
Right.
And even though now we've come such a long way, but there's still so much to be done, I think education is always the most important thing. That's what he keeps stressing. And, yeah, like I said, a lot of moments, especially in Serie A, where it's just no need for that. And I know this is definitely one of our more serious podcasts. It's sad.
We felt me and Rocco were talking during the week, and I said we can't put out any other episode besides a tribute to Kobe Bryant. In my opinion, he's Italian. He's more Italian than a lot of people that say they're Italian.
That's a fact.
He lived there years, and he embraced the culture. One of my early memories, like my first memory of Kobe being Italian, was seeing him in a Nutella commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what's this guy doing with Nutella? And then you see him speak Italian. I'm like, oh, wow. And then, you look into it and you find out that he lived in Italy, and I was just like, wow, that's crazy. Because there's really, what American, athlete was that big in Italy? I think in my whole childhood, there was nobody bigger than Kobe in Italy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Besides, Jordan, but, Jordan didn't speak Italian and stuff like that.
No.
So, for us as Italians, we got to take a page out of Kobe's book and, appreciate what he did for us.
Absolutely. I love that you said that. What's I feel beautiful about this whole thing? It's the fact that the whole world, I feel, came together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like everywhere you looked, there was nothing but respect for Kobe and, condolences.
Kind of what Sabino was saying before. I don't remember a celebrity death being. The only one I really remember that was this close maybe was Michael Jackson. That was huge. I remember the whole world.
Yeah, but a lot of people disliked him too.
Right, but Kobe, the whole world. you know what's crazy is sometimes, you know, you see it for 2-3 days, you know, and celebrities do die all the time, but it's been close to a week now.
Yeah.
And there's been posts and all these memorials. And I mean, what the Lakers did last night, that was, you know, shout out to the Lakers there. That was
incredible.
That was
That's like one of
amazing.
the most like amazing like honor. Like I can't even the word I'm trying to use. It was like the way they set up that whole night was amazing. Like you know, pushing back the game. You know, really like honoring this man.
Yeah.
Professionally done. And LeBron obviously always knows what to say. You know, he made everything better.
And again, as a guy who, you know, for a long time disliked him, I you know, it looks like he's really hurt. It looks like he really was that close to Kobe. I mean, I know he got a tattoo of Kobe, posted it yesterday. And,
Yeah, I saw that.
And I mean, you know, I wish him all the luck this season. I really actually hope he brings a championship to the Lakers in honor of him. So it's crazy.
You know, and I see it a lot now. And people did use this before, but it's, you know, we refer to Kobe as the Black Mamba, which is a snake.
Yeah, but he was always the Black Mamba.
Yeah.
You know,
And
that's what he's known as.
Yeah, no, that's just what he's known as. But I'm saying,
Just
like,
killer.
Yeah.
killer.
As
Right.
far as on the basketball
Right.
court, straight
Killer.
killer.
And now
Right.
I've been seeing a lot of people, you know, say something and then they say hashtag Mamba mentality. So I feel like that's definitely a thing that people are just going to use from now on. And what I remember the most about Kobe growing up, not even about Kobe, it's just every time I had a paper ball or every time I'm in the park shooting, you know, and if it's a tough shot, I'll just be like, Kobe.
You know why people do that?
Well, how did that start?
Dave Chappelle.
Oh, really?
I didn't
And
know.
he's just set a whole
Dave
trend
Chappelle
after that.
started that. I'm not gonna get like into too specifics, but there's this skit he did where he's in bed with a woman, and he takes off his thing, and he goes, Kobe. So Dave Chappelle really put that on the map. But yeah, I did that a million times.
Yeah.
Kobe.
I feel like there's no other name you could use for that.
No, it's really he was.
You know what I mean? It's just like it fits perfectly.
But now, if you're gonna say it, make sure you make it in.
Yeah, right? It's got to be an automatic bucket.
Yeah, you gotta know you make it in now.
Yeah, so like Sabino was saying, Kobe Bryant's career accolades and stats, he has the third most points of all time. Like Tony said, LeBron passed him he passed him in points the night before he passed away.
And Kobe's hometown, by the way.
Yeah.
In Kobe's hometown.
Which is crazy.
But
Against
what's
the
even,
Sixers,
what's
yeah.
even crazier is, and it gave me chills the next day I saw it, he was wearing sneakers that said Kobe Forever on it. And also said Black Mamba 824. And the next day that happens, I was like,
It's crazy. It's almost like some Illuminati
I
shit.
know, crazy.
It really
That's what I said in the group chat as soon as it happened. I'm like, you literally can't make this up.
I know.
Like
Like
he
insane
passed him
coincidence.
on his team, Lakers, you know, in his hometown, Philly. You know?
crazy.
Crazy. You can't make it up.
So Kobe was a 5-time NBA champion, 18-time NBA All-Star. Granted, he played 20 years. 18 of those 20 years, he was an All-Star.
He probably didn't make him like the first 2 years. he was a
11-time.
rookie.
I gotta look into that one, but 11-time All-NBA first team, 2-time NBA scoring champ. Bless you.
Thank you.
Almost 12,000 buckets made,
Wow.
and almost 49,000 minutes played. These are all top 6 and above of all time. On the
All for one
list.
team.
All for one team, which is a rarity nowadays, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, now people are just the NBA. Like, I'm a huge basketball fan. I coached the sport for a while, but to watch the NBA now, there's no more loyalty on teams. I mean, and
It's like soccer almost, you know?
yeah, I
Creating super
agree.
teams, you
I
know?
agree. But I'm kind of happy the super teams are ending. I'm happy there's a lot more competition. I mean, look at the East now. You got the Bucks. You got the Nets now are gonna with Kyrie, they're gonna go crazy. But
Celtics always there.
yeah, Celtics, yeah.
The East is open. The West is stacked.
The West is stacked.
You got a lot of
but
big
again,
teams.
it's looking, the Lakers, they've had a great season so far.
Yeah, they look good.
And
Anthony Davis doesn't hurt
yeah,
either.
yeah. I mean, even what Anthony Davis was doing last night, he was replicating a lot of Kobe's moves. LeBron was trying to do it, but LeBron's, he's a bigger guy. He's got more weight on him. I don't think he was that agile to do it. But it was beautiful to see, like, how many people honored him yesterday.
Yeah.
You know,
One quick thing I want to say about Kobe is, his whole career, when I think about it, you know, me, like, I used to, like, say, I know I'm not the only one either, but I used to say, like, Kobe couldn't have won those rings without Shaq, the first 3.
Yeah.
Then he turns around and wins another 2 of his own.
Yeah.
So that really showed, like, what kind of a ball player he was, you know? And he never left Los Angeles like a lot of players do now.
Right.
Like, you know, LeBron James is a perfect example. He changed teams like 4 times, you
Yeah.
know? Kobe got traded to the Lakers, and he died a Laker.
there.
Literally died a Laker.
Literally.
So, you know, shout-outs to loyalty and
Yeah, man. Prestigious career. And I'll never forget his last game.
60
But before
points.
that, yo, how many times did he get injured and came back next year? Hungry.
well, he had a
you
really
know?
bad ACL injury.
ACLs tore him down at the end of his
That's what
career,
made
but
him retire early,
Yeah.
the ACL.
ACL.
He would have still been balling right now, honestly. But
He would have been
his
like
last
he would have been
game,
like Vince Carter, but he would have been balling.
and
Vince
his
Carter's got to go.
last game of his career against the Jazz, he dropped 60 points on
I'll
him.
never forget that.
Nothing was given either.
No.
And Gordon Hayward even said, listen, you know, it would be a shame and an embarrassment to Kobe if I just let him get those buckets. Because he was guarding him all night.
Yeah.
And Kobe dropped 60. That's Mamba mentality right there, man.
You know, I remember watching that game the day after. SportsCenter was saying, well, you know, he got 60 points because he shot the ball over and over. But looking back at the team, who the hell is going to shoot the ball?
I think he took like 50 shots.
But
It
you
was
know
close to
what?
that.
I wouldn't trust anyone else with the ball. I really wouldn't. And you know, that game was, he was crying at the end, looking at his family. All the LA celebrities were out there. I remember I saw a lot of Jack Nicholson, Chris Rock, and it's crazy. I feel like all these celebrities really just only have good things to say about him, and he was a great guy.
It's just the guy he was. And, you know, without further ado, thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed this podcast, please, you know, just like, comment, subscribe.
One last thing, you know, like, if anything, what Kobe taught us is cherish these moments with your family. Because
Absolutely.
you never know when it's going to be your time. And no matter how famous or how much money you have, it could be anyone, anytime. So, you know, make sure you hug and tell your family you love them while they're still alive. Because
Absolutely.
tomorrow's not promised, you know.
That's true.
Rest in peace, Kobe, a true legend.
Cos'è che ti lega così tanto a Reggio?
Sono cresciuto qua, andavo in giro in bicicletta qua, tutti i miei amici, tantissimi ricordi, speciali. È differente perché quando siamo arrivati in macchina con tutti i miei compagni di Nike, mi stavo dicendo, guarda, non ho mai pensato che uno dei migliori giocatori dell'NBA è cresciuto qua, non può essere più lontano da Los Angeles. È un giocatore di pallacanestro, vuol dire che ogni sogno è possibile.
Hai detto che vuoi dare una mano al basket italiano.
Sì.
Cosa vuoi fare? Che idee hai?
E spero di un giorno crescerlo con una scuola che insegna pallacanestro, però non solamente pallacanestro, no? Ci sono le cose di sport che è anche importante, no? Scrittura, marketing, business, tutte le cose così. Allora puoi rimanere vicino alla tua passione, però puoi fare un altro modo di lavoro che magari ti interessa. Un sogno per me è avere una scuola in Italia che fa questo. Voglio sapere un po' di più quello che come si dice, che necessita. Mi piacerebbe moltissimo aiutare.